Hello, welcome back to the channel everyone. Right, here we are. Scottish Premiership predictions. This is probably a video you've all been waiting for. And we're on to the second year of it. With the league season starting at the weekend, I thought now would be the perfect time to do this. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Hopefully you enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do. Right. 12th place, I'm going for St Johnstone. Back-to-back years. To be honest, I've not seen much quality from St Johnstone. You had a real struggle to stay up last season. And it was the season before you were bottom for ages. And I think it's just the same way, and that's the way it's going to be. You're going down. Your League Cup campaign was appalling. Losing 4-0 to Stirling Albion there at the weekend. And I know you can't judge a team's whole season based on one result, but that is ludicrous, right? That shouldn't be happening. Premiership side shouldn't be losing by that big of a margin to a team in, League 1 or League 2 is it? Really poor, St Johnstone, and I'm unimpressed with it. Not seen any real quality from you and since you won the Cup double. It seems as if you're a team with no backbone, no spirit, no momentum. You've got nothing about you. Just bland, plain, boring St Johnstone. So I'm sorry, St Johnstone fans, but because of that, you won't be in the league next season. 11th, Dundee. Right, I think Dundee could stay up, and I think this end of the table, it's really challenging. I think they will be in sort of a relegation struggle, but I think they'll get points in the games that matter. I think they'll take points off the likes of Motherwell and stuff. I can see them. I think they'll do what Kilmarnock done last year, be really strong at home, but be sort of poor away. But I think Dundee have more quality than Kilmarnock in that sense. Well, Kilmarnock had last year. So I think it's a good quality side, and I think if they survive this season, you know what? Go and push for top 6 next season. Here we go. I said it, right? Come and attack me for that if you want. I don't care. Anyway, but I think yous have done a fair job for yourself. New manager coming in, that should be good for yous. And yeah, I'm quite optimistic of what yous can do. So yeah, good luck to yous. 10th place, Livingston. To be honest, I can kind of see why they're down here. They've not got any real promise about them. They've been going downhill, sort of. I know I like to take a dig at Livingston, but yeah, I think they are on a downward spiral, you could say, to be honest. And I just think you have done too well for a long time. I think this is the start of a new era where you aren't going to be in the league and you'll start being relegation scraps again where you should be. So you know what, Livingston? That's where you belong and that's where you should be. Your pitch shouldn't be in the league. You give 3/4 of your ground to the away fans, which when you see the likes of St Mirren coming there, you see about 3 people in the stands. It's a pretty poor look in Scottish football. And honestly, you're a mediocre team. And I don't see what's so special about you. So 10th place. Prove me wrong, Livingston. Prove me wrong. Like you'll end up finishing 5th or something. 9th place, Kilmarnock. I think they will stay up. They've got enough quality too. I think Derek McInnes will carry them massively. You know, he's a huge manager. Managed Aberdeen for ages. He's successful in that sense. But I think he'll help you stay up. It'll be a bit of a relegation scrap, but I think it'll be like last season. Getting the points in the games that matter. Getting the points at home. I think last season they only lost to Celtic, Rangers and Hearts at home. That's all that happened. But they got quite a few jammy draws in there, and it was like it was either that or it was like 1-0 wins. So I think it's quite defensive you can play, but like when you want to attack, you are really good at it. So you know what, and you can actually take the game to teams, and we've seen you do it. So you aren't an easy team to play against, but I think 9th is where you'll be. And I think because you're not easy to play against, it's the way Kilmarnock's set up. I think that'll help you massively, and that's all down to Derek McInnes. So Yeah, I think getting Lewis Mayo permanently from Rangers is a fantastic deal. Fair play to his Kilmarnock, 9th place. 8th Ross County. I just feel this is something I see so many times. I see it time and time again. Ross County are down in 8th. You don't see any real promise with them. It's, of course, a couple of seasons ago they got top 6, but since then, downwards. I'm sorry, but I think Malky Mackay's not the answer anymore. But I think his time's come at not St Johnstone, Ross County, but to be honest, I don't really see much quality in here. It's you're a decent enough team. You can, at a home game, you can take it to teams like Celtic and Rangers. Can try and take points off them, but overall, I don't think he's a particularly great side. So I'm not going to put you dead high up. You will escape relegation comfortably. You're in no danger of being relegated. But I think you'll just sort of be floating around that 8th, 6th, 7th region. I'm sure that's what I said last year. You could be challenging for 6th, but realistically, is that going to happen? I think not. But you know what? Another challenge, Ross County. Prove me wrong. You've proved me wrong in the past, so you know what? Why don't you do it again? To make me nice and miserable. There we go. Right. St Mirren. It's a bit of an interesting one. I don't think they're necessarily a bad team. Right? St Mirren, they've came on leaps and bounds from when, they got promoted. Now I think, is it 5 seasons now they've been in the league? They've came on leaps and bounds. But I think they narrowly miss out in top 6 again. I think for the past 3 seasons they missed out narrowly in top 6. And last season obviously they got it. But this season I feel like they'll miss out by like a point. I think it will come down to the last game pre-split. I think that's what will decide it here with St Mirren. And I think, you know what, you actually could possibly slip into 6th place. Again, I could easily see you doing it. But Stephen Robinson, well experienced manager, he'd done a good job at Motherwell when he was there. He knows, he's got good tactics actually, and you know what, when St Mirren are on form they can take points off the likes of Celtic and Rangers, and that's what you've seen. So you know what, fair play to St Mirren, good job. 6th place, I'm going with Motherwell. I think the only bad thing for Motherwell is losing Kevin Van Veen. That is the only bad thing here. But I think they've actually got a good spirit about them. They've got a sort of calmness about them in a way. Like Motherwell, they're always cool-headed in a sense. I don't know if you get what I mean, but they're always up for a challenge and they'll step up usually. Stuart Kettlewell done a fantastic job with Motherwell at the end of last season. Last season they were in a right state. I think up until Kettlewell took over they hadn't won a game since October. And then in comes Kettlewell and they just start getting wins and they eventually got into 7th place last season. I think this year they'll do one better, go for 6th. I know you could say losing Kevin Van Veen, that's massive. But I think they've still got enough quality in there. They're a decent side, good fan base. I think they can do it. That's me, I've said it, I think they can do it. Might be controversial, but I don't actually care. 5th place, I'm going with Hibs. To be honest, I'm not sure what to do here. Hibs, they look alright in the Scottish Premiership, but I don't know if they're really that great, because we've seen in the qualifier game, losing to an Andorran side. It's pretty poor. Andorra's a tiny wee mountain country locked between France and Spain. Really. And the game looked as if it was being played inside of a volcano. It was in the middle of nowhere, Hibs, and you just get beat. So you know what? It's poor. It's really poor. I think Lee Johnson could push them on a bit, but I don't know if Lee Johnson will be their manager come the end of the season. Sorry, Hibs, I'm just not very hopeful for you here. And I know, I think I'm just not that optimistic with you. I think Hibs are supposed to be a club that can go in and take points off the likes of Celtic and Rangers. I've not seen that off you recently. So it seems as if there's a real lack of quality there. So I'm sorry, Hibs, but for that, he's in 5th. 4th place, Hearts. I think they can do it, to be honest. I think it'll be an interesting one. Obviously, Nielsen built them the massive success, right? But I'm excited to see them without Nielsen. They kind of collapsed when Nielsen left, if I'm honest with you. But I'm actually hopeful of Hearts in a way. I don't like saying that. Hopefully he's finished lower than what I've said. But I actually think you could challenge for it. You'll be a team you'll never back down if it's Celtic. You'll lie down to Rangers, don't worry. But you'll never lie down to Celtic, ever. You'll always be up for that. And I think they'll get points in the games that matter. Might make a few silly wee slip-ups along the way. But you know what? Not awful. Not too bad. I'm saying 4th place, Hearts. 3rd place, Aberdeen. I think, again, it's just... they're an alright team. They're not overly amazing, but I think there's a massive gap in quality between the likes of Aberdeen and Motherwell, if you get what I mean. But they probably should be putting in a bit more of a challenge when they play the likes of Celtic and Rangers. Obviously, they cut the away allocation down to 300. I think that's so they can try and combat it next season. But I think they're just sick of Celtic and Rangers going to Pittodrie and pumping them, to be honest, because there's a real gap in quality between Celtic and Rangers and Aberdeen as well. That's the way it always is. The 2nd place team and the 3rd place team, there's always a huge gulf in quality. It's absolutely massive. They've got a way bigger budget. I think Rangers have a budget something like triple, quadruple the size of Aberdeen. So I think they'll finish 3rd. I think they'll probably finish in it quite comfortably. They win the games that matter, but again, they can be prone to a few slip-ups. I think they've actually been doing well recently, so you can't really slag them for that. But, aye, 3rd place. I'm excited to see how you actually get on this year. 2nd place, Rangers. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, biased Rangers fans saying, we have the league in the bag. Really? Do you know that? Do you really know that? I think not, Rangers. I don't think you actually know that. Shut up. That's all I've got to say for you. Shut up. It's all talk with you. You all blab about it every year, which makes it all the more funnier when you lose the league. So you know what? I actually think you should wait until we're a good few weeks into the season and then start saying all that, right? And once you've got about halfway through the season, then you can say, we've got the league in the bag. But I'm a Celtic fan. I'm never going to sit here and just put Rangers above Celtic unless Celtic are in an absolute state like they were a few seasons ago, right? I thought Rangers would have won the league that season. I thought it would have been back-to-back titles for Rangers. But it wasn't. We managed to stop them. We rebuilt our squad well, and I'm hoping to see more of the same under Brendan Rodgers. He's a man we know familiarly at Celtic. And, I think that he's the answer, to be honest. We've got an upgrade in Ange Postecoglou. Losing Jota might not be the best, but you know what? I don't actually care. We've got Kyogo, and honestly, he's already banging in the goals. You've got Maeda. He looks like he's in top form. I'm impressed with some of the players we've signed so far. I can't really judge it after 45 minutes, but still, Odin Thiago looks a decent player. Now Rocky looks quite good as well. Looks quite solid at the back. Can see why Legia Warsaw wanted such a high price for him. And you know what? We delivered on it. So, aye, that's that for me. Right, gonna wrap up the video now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.